Hey, what's good, Josh? Your boy Darius. I'm back to y'all with another reaction video on the day, man. Look, I'm about to react to all the times the rappers outsmarted the police. You know what I'm saying? Like when it come down to me and police, you know what I'm saying? My whole thing is it's like police ain't got no type of education of the law. You know what I'm saying? They like how you gonna enforce the law when you don't know the law? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the police they just be winging it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess this is times that the rappers don't finesse the police and outsmarted them. So let's get into the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I'm Lil Zion. I'm my little brother Dre. I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't saying exactly who. No, I'm just saying. Who did you hear?
Around what time was this show?
Fulio, that's the baby.
Whatever time the camera showed me not robbing.
These are times rappers outsmarted detectives. And first, let's start with Fulio, because in April 2022, detectives were patrolling the Jacksonville area, and while working, they spotted Fulio driving a Dodge Durango with a legal window tint. And since it was suspicious, they flickered their lights so Fulio would pull over. And during the traffic stop, a prosecutor shows up at the scene for some odd reason, and that's when things will get bad. Because during the stop, the prosecutor will go on to illegally search Fulio's vehicle, and even tell the officers about who it was. That's when they took Fulio to the patrol car, and the detective then asked him about the death of his best friend, ATK Mitch.
All right, so I ain't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, some detectives want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch. How long is it gonna take? Not that long. Depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
After that question, Fulio quickly learned that he was staying for questioning.
All right. The reason why I'm here, I'm with the homicide unit.
And they tried to finesse, but dog, ease. Hey, look, we ain't gonna talk to you long. Just come down to the office with me.
And I am lead on your friend's case. Who? You have a friend that recently got killed? A lot of friends that recently. Mitch? Oh, yeah. So I'm lead on that. I know that, I don't know how close you guys were. So, I mean, just kind of give me some insight on, the reason why I want to talk to you, because that's your friend first and foremost. I'm sure you'll want something done about what happened to him, but can you kind of give me a, just run down on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
The detectives start off trying to learn about who Fulio is and who Mitch is to him. But Fulio just gives them small details, like Mitch is his brother. He also told them he was out of town when Mitch passed.
So what was y'all relationship, as y'all got older? He used to come to my mama's house. I used to come. He used to come over there. Come over there. Came to your dad. Everybody used to come out. He would come over there, show his support. What type of work do you do? What type of artist? You're an artist. Okay. Well, as far as mix go, what are you hearing? And I know, and I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down south with the one making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch there. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch. Mm-hmm. So I called his mama. Then she was like, it's true. You know what I'm saying? That's how that went. Well, afterwards, though, like, what you been hearing? I mean, this your home, bro. I ain't gonna say I went to his funeral and all. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? You'll never know, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm gonna just come out and just say, oh, I killed him. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm talking about y'all, like, from your end, what names are you guys hearing? I ain't really hearing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You could easily tell the detectives didn't know what went down from the questions they were asking because they were all over the place. But Fulio stuck to the same story and told the detectives multiple times that he didn't know anything about that situation. Well, again, I guess my question more so is what have you been hearing since? This happened in January, so I'm pretty sure you heard some things that may, be able to lead to, successful as far as finding out who may have been involved or, because what we don't want is like back and forth retaliation. You get what I'm saying? If you may know or hear something, that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom. Then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I'm Lil Zion. I'm my little brother Dre. Okay. I don't know who did.
I ain't saying exactly who. I'm saying, who did you hear? You never. I ain't hear. That's what I'm saying. You'll never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard they said little brother got shot. I'm like, damn. You know, so I'm in Miami at the time though, in the court. So I'm like, I gotta go to another funeral, pay for his funeral, like that. You ain't tired of that, man? Yeah. I'm not.
When Fulio denies knowing anything about the shooting, the detective asks him whether he thinks his music plays a part in the violence around him.
This may be a hard question, but I ain't gonna say it's a hard question, but do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with it?
Hey, that's how you know the detectives be bumping that boy for real. He talk about your music. Like he talk about, if you know the type of music that he made, that mean you listening to him. That mean your ears to the streets. You hearing that boy.
Because of the way y'all. Nah, even before I rap, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's Jacksonville, bro. Like, it's a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? It's Jacksonville, bro. You can't just say it's my music that why somebody died. You know what I'm saying? Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone? Like the way y'all going back and forth? Nah, it's a million. It's like all through the. So but you know what I'm talking about. You can't let no songs ever. No, but you're saying that you can't let no song do that. But nowadays, like you say, these Jacksonville, a lot of things trigger people to do certain things. Man, that gotta be in you. You ain't gonna let no song just do that. Like me, if I hear a song that crash me out off a song. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I'm just asking. Do you feel that way? Yeah. Do you feel that way? No. A song can't make you go through nothing, bro. Just asking.
And since the detectives couldn't get anything out of him, they decided to leave the room for a little while. More detectives came in and started questioning him about the traffic stop, since they also claimed that Fulio tried eluding. The interrogation didn't last long, since it wasn't much they could get out of him. So they left the room again. That's when the clip of Fulio's interrogation went viral, of him singing Dark Cloud by Rod Wave in the interrogation room.
There's so many dark days. There's so many dark days. Dark cloud. There's so many dark days.
That boy thugging the slides with no salt. He got the toes out.
He would also upload the clip to his Instagram saying, "I can never go out bad. I see a lot of rappers going out bad, telling etc. I don't know nothing. I am not 6'9". In the traffic stop situation, Fulio faced up to 3 years as they tried charging him with fleeing, eluding, and tampering with evidence. And after several attempts to dismiss the case, Fulio pleaded no contest to charges of tampering with evidence in exchange for 6 months of probation, which he served in Georgia. Fulio might have gotten 6 months of probation, but not falling for the detective's tricks saved him from having to spend 3 years in jail. And he didn't reveal anything about the death of Mitch. Now, let's move on to the baby, because in January 2020, he was...
Dog, if you don't know nothing, you gonna always get off. I don't care what nobody say. I don't know nothing.
In Miami, since he had to perform at a nightclub. But things didn't go as planned, since the promoter only paid the baby $20,000 instead of the whole $30,000. And that's when things took a turn, because the promoter claimed that the baby went on to punch him in the face multiple times. And his crew also jumped in to start attacking the promoter. According to the promoter, the baby and his crew stole his phone, credit card, and $80 in cash. The baby and his crew would go on to flee the scene before returning to the hotel a few hours later, only to be met by the victim along with some police waiting to arrest him. So they took him to the police station for questioning. The interrogation didn't go how the detectives expected it to go, since he beat them at their own game.
What's your full name? Would you want to go through this plan? Just take the name, date of birth, and all that stuff.
The baby could have easily stayed silent and got a lawyer, but he knew he could outsmart the detectives in this situation.
Okay, you have the right to have the lawyer present with you during questioning. Do you understand? If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You understand that? An incident occurred. You go to Southwest First Avenue. Then you were there for, right? What incident? An incident.
Yeah, what incident?
With somebody? You didn't. Did you have a business deal with somebody? No. You didn't. So somebody didn't bring you $20,000 And from the hotel in your SUV?
No.
They did.
No.
Okay.
Somebody bring $20,000 they went upstairs and lied to them and told them it was for an event of theirs on the 31st. And lied to them. That person, once he realized they were doing bad business, said nah and left with his $20,000.
Okay, so you didn't count it?
And got my contact information to do business for the right way. That's what happened.
Well, what time was this?
I don't know. Every time they chose, whatever time the camera showed me not robbing no damn house.
The baby was letting the detectives know he had nothing to do with what happened outside, and that his manager was talking to the promoter about him performing at a nightclub. But once the manager noticed the money the promoter was offering was stolen, they didn't want anything to do with it. And the footage from the scene was unclear, and no witnesses were nearby. So the baby stuck to his story.
Common sense. Made to even be down here. A promoter booked me at that hotel. I didn't pay to be at the hotel. Paid. You would let me on my room, you would have saw close to $250,000 cash. I don't gotta take nothing from nobody. I will go outside here right now and throw $2,000 in the air. I'm not serious about it.
Was there an argument?
No, it was an argument. I didn't argue with show.
Boy, so he ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Voice was never raised. This is language for me. None of that. None of it. No, I ain't seen it. And nothing's taken. It shouldn't be in the robbery.
The baby was also letting the police detectives know that he had way too much money for him and his team to try and rob someone. Because if he has over $250,000 sitting in his hotel room, it wouldn't make any sense that he took $80 from someone. And since the detectives weren't getting much out of him, they began to ask more detailed questions to see if they could catch him in a lie, since a car was spotted on the security camera where the promoter claimed he got robbed.
When I encountered you in the hotel, you came back to the concierge, the counter. Where were you coming from at that point?
Whatever. I went to eat. I went to get food.
You don't know? How'd you get there?
In a car.
Car you drove, somebody else drove? An Uber?
Yeah.
What kind of car was it? Small car, SUV, truck? What?
Let's talk about what now. When I'm driving in the car, when I went to go eat, what time I went, that don't got nothing to do with that. I ain't robbed it down, so.
Let's take the word robbery out.
So while we here, we take the word robbery out of the picture.
The baby was clearly beating the detectives since he had them in the upper hand, but he's about to completely shut them down and what's coming up.
Y'all know too many lies. You get what I'm saying? That's why y'all gotta move backwards like that, bro. Like,
You said it's a lie, but you don't know what we have done.
I know if y'all had proof of me robbing somebody, we wouldn't even be talking.
Facts.
Y'all would have cut me, I would be charged with it. That's what I know, bro.
The baby also confronted the police, since if they had proof he robbed someone, they wouldn't have even questioned him in the first place. And since the detectives couldn't get anything out of the baby, they left the room, and he went to sleep since he wasn't really worried about the situation. A detective would return to let him know he would get locked up since he was still the prime suspect. The baby was facing 15 years in prison and a battery charge if they could gather enough evidence to prove that he robbed someone. But they couldn't get anything other than some blurry surveillance footage. And just 2 months later, this whole case was dismissed.
That's what I'm telling y'all, though. If you don't know nothing, just keep your mouth closed. You straight every time. But them boys be in there, like, telling. Like, they be snitching.
Since they couldn't prove that the baby committed a crime. The baby also explained in an interview with DJ Academics that he knows how things go and why he doesn't usually hire lawyers in those situations.
Like, I do want you to give some type of knowledge on that, because I've watched and I'm like, damn, like the police probably are licking their chops like, yo, we got this, even though you be spitting.
So how I go. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, okay, so it's simple. Like, why would I pay for a lawyer in a situation when I can speak for myself?
But they're trying to like...
It's ain't, like, the CDs is not, knowledgeable enough for, like, the laws to be able to to say, and then just walk out. Like, it's simple.
But not all rappers outsmart the detectives the same way the baby and Fulio did. Because let's move on to TK. And things went a little differently for him. Because in July
they pulled a TK from the race.
2016, TK was arrested for capital murder, along with 6 other people for charges related to a home invasion where 21-year-old Ethan Walker was murdered. TK and some of his homies planned to rob a local drug dealer. They had 2 girls go to the front door to seduce him. Then, when he was distracted, TK and his crew ran through the home with guns looking for drugs and money. During the
Hey, man, we all know how TK's story ended, man. You know what I'm saying? The boy locked up right now for murder. You know what I'm saying? He got out, dropped the song, talk about how he ran from the police or whatever, and they found him and locked him up. But it's the end of the video. I'm about to go take my dog outside to go walk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So get in the comment box. Let me know what y'all want to see next. Like, comment, subscribe, and out.
Pull up on the scene with the whole team. You like, what's that smell? I'm like, that's that sour D. Bitch, you already know that we smoking. Never smoking, Reggie, only poking. Watch me pull up on the scene with the whole team. You like, what's that smell? I'm like, that's that sour D. Bitch, you already know that we smoking. Never smoking, Reggie, only poking. Watch me pull